Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Think Tank Sports. Think Tank Sports, where we think and you listen. Check us out on the socials: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's not always the IG, folks. Us older folks, it's Instagram. And listen to us on Anchor or wherever you get your podcasts, because we're out there for your daily and multi daily consumption. I don't even know. I made that up. And now you can watch us on YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, you can watch two of us because Stevie Covers is a busy man and is joining us from the car this evening. So you don't actually get to see his pretty face and his bald, shiny head. But
Oh,
there
come
you go. Oh, I can say those things because I have the microphone. And of course, alongside me in this three-person screen set up on Zoom, I have Mike. Mike, how are you?
Wow. It's huge, just build up and set up for you, for Stevie Covers. And there's Mike's here too. I mean, I
There's
know
Mike.
my bets suck, but boy, I didn't know it was like that. Now I know the games we're playing. I got
Little
it
vague
now.
there, Mike.
Yeah, well, prison rules, son. Look it up. Stevie Covers, always a pleasure. Drive safe as you're updating us. How did we do last week, buddy?
Well, fellas, we all came out ahead last week, so excellent news. We did very very well for the people. Uh, Mike came out throwing bombs last week, going long on every single one of his bets. Um, Only hit one of them, but still came out in the positive. $40 ahead on the back-to-back home runs in a World Series game.
Oh my
That one,
Yes.
goodness. Good call.
Yes, and it was the Phillies, which was nice. I didn't have to cheer for the Astros. So
yes, yeah, it was a Philadelphia slugfest that game, which was even better than the Astros doing it. If it was up to me, Mike, we'd give you a few extra bucks for that.
appreciate that. I'm still waiting for the Bengals offense to show up in the Monday night game, but we'll move on.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was bad.
So yeah, $40 positive for Mike last week. Davey Covers, as he's earned that nickname, 3-1
3 in 1
last
week.
week. 3-1. Total gain of $52.72, or excuse me, 52 credits, 72 cents in the black. So pretty solid week for Davey Covers. And then myself, I also went 3-1, but
Woo.
my Hail Mary that I threw also cashed
Yeah.
the Christian McCaffrey bet, if you recall, for 75 rushing yards, 50 receiving yards, and a rushing touchdown. So I came out with a tidy profit of 116.36 units last week. And for the season, for those of you keeping score at home, Mike, yeah, just Mike the Caboose, minus 37.75 units for the season. Overall record of 11, 18, and 2.
Nobody pushes like me, baby.
That's right. Yep. So Mike's in third place at negative 37. I'm in second place at positive 324 units and 60 cents. So almost 400 units better than Mike. Not not too shabby there. My overall record, 20, 11, and 1, which is very impressive if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
And
you
Dave,
do.
yes, I do. I love to toot my own horn. Somebody's got to do it. And then Dave, just slightly better than me. So my record, 20, 11, and 1. Dave, 20 and 10. So just slightly better. And then my overall earnings, 324.6. Dave's overall earnings, 329.82. So very, very tight between Dave and himself.
Tight at the top
and
and loose at the bottom.
Yeah.
Mike,
I'm going to ride the outer wall. Yeah. All right. Well, the anchor will start then. I've got three college football-ish and one NFL. So I'll start with just a simple Notre Dame over Clemson, straight up money line for 20 units. I think Clemson is a fraud. Check our previous podcast on football. Also out now, anywhere you get your podcast delivery system for further comments. But Notre Dame money line.
Notre Dame
Wow.
plus three
Notre
and a
Dame.
half in this game. And plus
But I'm
one
taking
plus
that-
150 is what you're taking, Mike?
No, I'm taking it for the straight up win. So do you have something that says money line there?
Yeah, that'd be the plus 150.
Yeah, the
150.
plus 150. Yep.
Right. Okay. Yep. That's it.
Ooh,
I don't want your stinking 3.5 points. They're going to win the game.
wow.
Did you mention the amount on your wager there, Mike?
20 units, please.
20 units, Notre Dame plus 3. And once again, I'm going to go Lee Corso on you, Mike. Not so fast, my friend. I'm going to take the Clemson Tigers. Notre Dame just isn't very good. They beat Syracuse, but that was a weird game. Started with a pick six, and Syracuse. I mean, Garrett Schrader was just terrible in that game. So I'm going to take the Clemson Tigers minus the 3.5 to beat the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Okay.
Wow.
Disagree?
I'll do 25 on that one.
25.
25.
Nice.
Okay.
David?
My first college game, I'm looking at the Oklahoma State team going to Kansas. Kansas -1. I think Oklahoma State, after being demolished by Kansas State 48-0, little bit smarting from that. Kansas, their polish is coming off there, and we're starting to realize that they're not as good as we thought they were. So give me Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, to win outright there against the Jayhawks for 20 units.
Ooh, I was very, very close to going that direction myself, Dave. I do not mind that pick at all. I think you're right about Kansas. The shine is off. So, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, same. I looked at that game, but ultimately went other directions. But I like it as well, David.
Yeah.
And you're so hot. How could we argue at this point?
Yeah, you really can't.
I know. I'm not going to. Stop putting words in my mouth. Biggest game of the day. I can't believe the disrespect Georgia's getting. Not only being bumped down to 3 in the playoff poll, but -7.5 against this team, Tennessee, that really, they beat Alabama. That was a good win, obviously. Other than that, I don't see why Tennessee is getting all this love versus a Georgia team that I think is tremendous. So I'm going to take Georgia minus the 7.5 against Tennessee for 20 units. And I get to watch a big game and have a little more juice on it. Comments, concerns,
maybe the game of that could be the game of the season there. I did see today that's the highest ticket price in college football so far this year.
Oh, really?
That game. And I lean towards Georgia on that one too. I stayed away just because I've been underestimating Tennessee all year, and I'm not doing it anymore. So I stayed away from that one. But I would lean towards Georgia as well. But that's the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And a very good football team.
Right, so,
go ahead, Steve.
Oh, yeah, I think I lost you guys for a second there, but
yep, you're good now.
Yeah, perfect. For my next pick, we are going out west. We're going to the Pac-12, and we're going to Palo Alto, where the Stanford Cardinal, singular Cardinal, are taking on the Washington State Cougars. Give me the Cougs. The Cardinal are home dogs here, but it's a 4.5 spread. And I just think Washington State's a better football team. I don't think Stanford is particularly good this year. And Washington State has played some tough games against some tough teams. So give me the Cougs minus 4.5 in Palo Alto.
Yeah, you know how I feel about Washington State. Really a tough loss last week against Utah, but a very good football team, I think, overall. So good pick, Steve.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. For my pick, and this just is going to tell you how things are going to go in the biggest game of the year, because I've been so good this year and I'm riding all of the good luck at this point. I'm taking Tennessee. I'm not taking Tennessee against Georgia to win, but I am taking them plus the 7.5. I think this is going to be a close game. Georgia probably will still win, but Tennessee to cover. So Tennessee plus 7.5, 20 units on the Volunteers.
Little head-to-head action. I like it.
Yes. And
I think I forgot to mention I had 30 units on the game, so I wanted to get that in there.
Yep, for
Perfect.
sure. All right, so Mike, you have another college football thing?
Nick Saban brought LSU into this world. Nick Saban's going to take LSU out of our world in 2022.
Thank you, Bill Cosby.
The Alabama Crimson Tide are pissed off, and they're going to roll in and slap Brian Kelly and the boys around. Minus 13.5, though I'm not stupid. Minus 13.5, Alabama over LSU. It's just what Nick Saban does. Anybody?
Wow. Okay.
There's some.
Yeah, look, I mean, Alabama, certainly they're very, very talented. Bryce Young, getting back into the groove after being injured. Yeah, I mean, 13.5, they're begging you to take Alabama by 2 touchdowns, which probably pretty easy, quite honestly.
I think so. That's 30 units. I'm sorry if I didn't say that.
Excellent. Yeah, Mike, you had me at Nick Saban versus Brian Kelly on that.
All right.
13.5 seems easy. So yeah, nicely done on that.
Thanks.
All right. I have 2 pro picks here, so I'll go with my first one. And we are going to the 2 teams that were the most active in the trade market. The Chicago Bears hosting the Miami Dolphins.
Oh boy.
The over-under on this game is 45.5. Now, we know the Dolphins have a good offense. The Bears' offense has not looked bad the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
And the Bears traded their 2 best defensive players. So, I'm going to take the over on this game, 45.5. I think this is an easy one going away. So, I will do 25 units on over 45.5, Dolphins in Chicago.
Yeah, Mike and I were talking about this on our previous podcast, which will be out there for you all to listen to as well. The Bears have started to score points. They've figured out, what to do with Justin Fields, move him around and do all these other things, give him some, design run plays. Yeah, I'm with you, Stevie. I think that's a great pick at the over at 45.5.
I agree. That's all I got.
I am looking at the 6-1 Minnesota Vikings at the Washington Commanders. Vikings favored by 3. I think that's a gimme. That's a layup right there. Minnesota playing well. Washington doing okay at 4-4, but the Vikings, and Mike alluded to this in our other podcast, this is not the usual Vikings team. They've got something going on here, and I'm going to agree with Mike. I think they do have something going on. So I am taking Minnesota -3, and that is 30 units on the Vikings.
Mike, I'm curious. Does this feel like a dirty line to you?
Absolutely does. Absolutely does.
Yeah.
So
I'm
much so.
Same way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. Yeah,
Right.
I've been a trap there, Dave.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Maybe not.
I'm on top, so don't
Wow.
don't argue with me.
Oh. Well, I did look at that game as well and thought it was a rat line, but then I looked at the over under. I have a 3-team parlay here, gentlemen.
Oh, here we go.
Shocking.
Oh,
I know.
Every
We got to take
week.
a shot. The Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders are going to go over 43.5 points. 43.5 also seems like a rat line.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's low.
Taylor Heineke's right. So I'm saying it's too low. I mean, they're begging you to take the over. Heineke's going to get you 17, right? Minnesota could certainly get the rest. So I threw that in there. The Titans and the Chiefs over 46. Another line that seems like, now this is my boy Malik Willis, right? Getting his first start for the Titans, I believe. But I mean, the Chiefs might put up a 50 burger on their own. That's crazy. And then I got to do it. The Monday night game, Ravens at Saints, over 3.5 field goals made. Over 3.5 field goals, over 46 Titans Chiefs, over 43.5 Vikings Commanders would pay out plus 701.
Mike, I have heard and we have listened to your obnoxious, reaching, ridiculous, blindfolded 3-team parlays this entire season so far. Mike, I actually think you have a chance with these three. I think this is you actually have taken. You're right, exactly. KOD, baby. He has taken off the blindfold and actually done some research. Mike, I would be surprised if this 3-team parlay doesn't hit for you.
What you'd all be surprised about is how much work I've actually put into this segment since we started it. And this is how I'm doing. So
minus 37.75 is all you need to know. Stevie Covers.
That's my last 30 units plus 701, please. I will take that in the form of cash.
That is quite the tidy sum there, Mike. Who's the Saints kicker?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Will Lutz, is it not?
Will Lutz, yes. Will Lutz, and the most automatic kicker in the history of the game.
Yes, Justin Tucker.
Yeah, Justin Tucker. I just had to put you on the spot since you picked the field goals in that game.
And I bailed him out with Will Lutz.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who doesn't learn his lesson with the parlays. So please take a note from Mike. He hit one Hail Mary last week out of 4. He's still negative for the.
Sure.
This is what we call chasing the dragon, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you get yourself in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I also hit my long shot last week, so let's do it again. Let's chase the dragon.
Wow.
All right.
I'm taking a special player prop parlay. And we are going to Jacksonville, Florida. The Raiders are coming to town. The Raiders. Playing zero defense. Travis Etienne coming on, playing strong, looking explosive. So I'm going with Travis Etienne to have 100 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Pays out at plus 300. I believe I have 20 units remaining for this week, so I'll give me the 20 units on Etienne, 100 rush yards, and a rushing touchdown. He could easily break one for 80, so I don't think 100 is an unreasonable bar. So yeah, Raiders defense not good. Plus 300, 20 units. That's it.
That's a good pick that you just made. I liked it a lot. I will continue to listen to Stevie Covers. That is all.
Well, Stevie, I'm I am with you, and my second pick is that same game. The Raiders minus 1.5 at Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they're a feisty team. They're young. They're fiery. And I think I'm going to ride your coattails. Travis Etienne is going to help the Jacksonville Jaguars win outright at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, and 30 big units on the Jacksonville Jaguars for me.
That's a good pick.
I love it, Dave. That's a great pick. The Jaguars, even though they have a crappy record, have a positive point differential. So They have not really been that bad. Lost some close games. I love that pick. Nicely done.
Yeah, me too. I think remember no James Robinson either, so ATN's getting all the carries. So very nice. Nice job there. We're sniff that out.
We will accept no James Robinson slander on this podcast.
I was just saying you opened the roster spot. That's it. And any slander is pretty. If it's sitting on you like that, then maybe you need to wear it like that. But I didn't, mean it like that.
Hey, Mike, would you like to hear my new impression that I developed this week?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, I deserve that. Okay. All right, here's my new impression.
Yes, you did.
All right, my impression is as follows. Things are different in Buffalo now. They're going to win at least one Super Bowl in the next few years. This is a winning team. They've turned it around. Who is that an impression
of? Captain Obvious.
That's Dave. An impression of every Bills fan 30 years ago.
Ouch. Wow. When the juice was loose. When OJ was running things. Handling his knife business, everything.
I can't see Dave because I'm driving, but I assume he's crying.
I put my head down on my microphone. Very, very sad. Related, but not related. As I said on our other podcast, Dave Wanstead, I heard him on the Mad Dog today, and forgot that he was the defensive coordinator with the Cowboys in the 90s. And when they played the Bills in that first Super Bowl, and the first thing the Mad Dog couldn't wait to say was, "What did you do to Leon Lett after Don Beebe chased him down and knocked that ball away?" And Dave Wanstead said, "Well, that touchdown was going to get us to 60. So I wasn't really all that concerned with Leon Lett in that game."
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a Bills fan. Like a Bills fan to remember a losing moment and celebrate it all these years later. I mean, because the trash is kicked. Oh, Don Beebe, you hustled. Congratulations. You did your job, Don Beebe.
That was the only time in the game that any Bills player, besides Steve Tasker blocking the opening punt by the Cowboys, which the Bills punched in with a Thurman Thomas touchdown. But yeah, that was really the only hustle that the Bills showed in that game.
Okay.
I'm not sure you want to bring up Bills special teams in the early 90s, Dave.
No, not with a Giant fan right here, but I'll spare your feelings. We'll wrap it up here, folks. We got a little goofy here at the end, but that's all right. We're one or more of us may have been at a work networking event, if you know what I mean, folks. And anyway, so we're having a good time, and we appreciate you watching us do that, listening to us do that. Check us out on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the podcast delivery systems. We appreciate all your support. We welcome all your comments, and we thank you for listening to Lose With Us on Think Tank Sports, where we strive for 5.